Chapter 2, Program Policy. 2.1, Program Administration. The Army Idea Excellence Program will be administered entirely on the basis of merit, without regarding the age, sex, race, color, religion, national origin, or physical and mentally handicapped. Participation will volunteer. Program promotion, publicity, activity promotion of the Army Idea Excellence Program, responsible at all levels of command of the major Army command installations, and encouraged to develop their own materials, use the suitable techniques of publicity and promotion consistent with law and with the funds available. Appropriated funds may be used by expensive and inexpensive items promoting the Army Idea Excellence Program. Ideals such as the items appropriate for the work environment of the service or environment to serve the remainder of the benefits participating in the program: coffee mugs, key rings, small plaques, and typical promotion items. To greatest extent possible, the major major Army commands installations should share the good promotional ideas with other organizations of the Army at large. The headquarters of the Department of the Army, DACS, DME, will collect and share promotional approaches both within and the outside of the Army. As part of the promotional efforts, commanders at the levels may identify systematic publicize key areas and constructive ideas as especially desired. To use internal external public affairs channels to publicize outstanding and suggested program accomplishment through the honorary roll display, new release articles, video, television presentations, ceremonies honoring individuals or groups, familiarizing personnel all levels with the Army Idea Excellent Program, with the conducting briefings, presentation at the commander's call, newcomer orientation, staff meetings, management, leader corps, and like adverse programs with the poster, billboards, inserts, bulletins, other media with frequent reach of soldiers' soldiers and employees. Develop slogans, logos, other short, striking materials designed to call attention to the program. D. The commander of the discretion may select select two suggestors of the year and one civilian, one military nomination for the individual. The Army-wide suggester of the year. The Army suggester of the year is honored with the annual Secretary of Army Awards ceremony, usually held during the fall of each year. Commanders are similarly urged to nominate suggestors for the comparable honors in the private sector. Suggestors year, the completion of the National Association with the Suggestion System. Major Army commands will forward names of the nominees' justification are headquartered at the Department of the Army by 31st of May of each year. Commanders at all levels initiate procedures by the recognizing supervisor demonstrating distinctive ability to stimulate Army Idea Excellent Program participation, extraordinary willingness to aid suggestors in developing their submission. Evaluators will consistently provide timely, highly quality evaluations. The PCS, who will excel with facilitating the Army Idea program, processing, maintaining good relations, suggestors, otherwise enhancing performance and regulation of the Army Idea Excellence proposal. These categories contribute to recognize special act awards. Will never share the respective award for a suggester. Selection of the evaluator or the PC of the month or the quarter or the year is another method of recognition. 2.3. Decision of the prerogative. The decision to adopt, non-adopt an idea, or to grant or not to grant an award of the commander prerogative within the limits of his or her authority. At the same time, the Army is committed to the fair, consistent administration of the Army Idea Excellence Program, would adhere to the regulation of the idea in making all decisions disposition of the ideas and payments of the award. 2.4. The ideas of disapproval due to the regulatory guidance. No idea will be disapproved solely because it's in contrary to applicable law, regulations, other written provisions. Is implementation of the idea, the amount of cash, if the implementation of the idea or the amount of cash awarded is cost prohibitive. Adoption of the idea, however, may be contingent upon the change of the applicable law, regulations, or written provisions. 2.5. Immediate adoption. An idea may be immediately adopted in a full award less than $10,000 paid in full. Limitation within a year of the adoption is guaranteed. 2.6. Of the testing ideas, testing evaluation, the critical part of the Army Idea Excellent Program. Installation commanders submit requests for the change of regulation of the two channels to regulation proponent. The proponent will approve the test evaluation unless test one of the location will have serious adverse effects of the Army. At the end of the test period, normally 1 year, the test installation forwards an evaluation of the idea regulation proponent. Each interviewing command headquarters will provide analysis, appropriate comments, recommendations on whether the idea should be approved for the Army-wide implementation, and ideas should be also be tested and offers the prospective benefit to the government which cannot be ascertained or adequately quantified without a test. As a conclusion of the test period, normally not exceeding 1 year, the idea either will be adopted or an award made based on the documented benefits disapproved. In either case, full evaluation should be done both in the beginning and at the end of the test of the period. If an idea is approved for the testing, submitter should receive the nominatory award recognition pending the completion of the test of the validation of the savings. Successful installation level testing may be provided sufficient basis in the implementation of the idea. More broadly, the FPSs as a level retaining the basic responsibility of determining whether they are not the idea or whether or not an idea will be implemented fully based on the test results or other relevant evidence. The FPS higher levels must be also benefits of the level. They may not be evident in the local testing experience. If it is concluded that after testing the idea, proposal should be implemented, an Army-wide applicable regulation change, if the appropriate, will be processed published within 6 months. It is decided that after testing, not implementation of the idea, the Army-wide, the testing may continue to use the idea procedure until the idea of the official year. At that time, the compliance with the appropriate regulation must be resumed. 2.7. Priority rights. Suggestors interested in use the disposition of the ideas. Priority rights begin with the idea initially entered into the system, remaining until 2 years after the date of the final action. This is the date of the proof of an award, written notification, non-adoption. The principal intention of the protect against the suggestor ideas of the government without proper credit being given and unauthorized acquisition use. 2.8. Request for reconsideration. Suggestor may request reconsideration of an idea, evaluation, other aspects of an idea disposition. The request must be submitted by written in within 60 days of the notification of the final disposition to the PC who is initially registered. Suggestion. In support of the request of the reconsideration, the suggestor must do one of the following: provide evidence that an evaluator made a material error, fact, logic that had an effect on the idea evaluation. Provide a new material, information, rational, clarify the significant issues, questions, dissatisfaction, disagreement with the previous determination is not itself justification for reconsideration. Request reconsideration will first be reviewed by the installation of the PC to determine the qualified for reconsideration. If it does, and will be processed for original idea was processed, that it will be reevaluated at each approval level of the command, evaluated with one level of the higher than the rejection official. The commander of the other designating must approve the forward of any of the requests of the reconsideration. Higher headquarters reconsideration of the idea was not adopted and will not be accepted and will not extend the priority rights. If the suggestor's priority rights have not been expired, believes that the official action has been taken in implementation, all part of the idea with the proper credit being given, the suggestor may request re-examination. The request may be submitted by the PSC. Initial registered idea, the most indicated in the regulation directing action, implemented idea. In some cases, the suggestor clearly raises issues of the warrant consideration. The PC determines the suggested ideas may have been used without doing the due credit to the suggestor. The PC will forward the request of the idea and channels of the organization to the organization where the ally allegedly made the use of the idea. Within 60 days, the organization will respond to all suggestors' contentions. The local commander will then review the response, and if he or she concurs with the forward of the suggestor. 2.9. Tenant and similar submissions. Employees and soldiers belonging to the tenant units installation will be submitted to their ideas. Installation of the DRM PC, dependent on the subject matter of the idea. The PC will route the suggestion evaluation of the files. 1. The tenant unique ideas will forward to the tenant DRM PC. Processing the tenant chain of the command is not locally resolvable. The tenant PC will forward the issue or forward the idea along with the local evaluation next higher headquarters. The other ideas are the forward of the local FP and the return to installation of the PC. The appropriated PC will forward the idea with the channel with the higher level evaluation. The Army States Army Reserve USAR ideas may be processed through affiliated parent continental U.S. States CONUS Army Command is supporting installation. The The HQDA level of parent and other parent commands with the responsibility of field operating agencies, FOAs, Reserve Officer Training Corps, and Reserve Units elements of the United States Army Recruiting Command, USAREAC. The organization not located on the installation will ensure access to the Army Idea Excellent program for their employees and soldiers are determined for the responsible commander. 210 other services and agencies. Members of the employees of other services and agencies will submit their ideas to the other organization, not directly with the Army. Those immediate ideas primarily affect the Army. However, the idea submitted with the members of the employee any another service or agency who is assigned to the Army installation may be submitted through the Army channels within submissions to the other services and agencies is not convenient. Chapter 3, Eligibility.